हरे कृष्णा। जय श्री माता जी, दंडवत प्रणाम, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय. Thank you so much for joining and welcome to the call. So today we are so fortunate to have Her Grace Jai Sri Mataji from New Vrindavan, and Mataji will enlighten us on Srimad Bhagvatam 7.9.43 and onwards. So Hare Krishna, Mataji, please take over the call now. Hare Krishna.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Please accept my most humble and respectful obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to all the great devotees in our line. So nice to be here in the morning. Don't know what I would do without temple programs. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Nitai Gauri Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gauri Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parvajakacharya Astrater Satis Divine Grace Visi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parvajakacharya Astrater Satis Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananti Kurti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Sri Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Sri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Navadvip Dham Ki Jai, Ganga Maya Ki Jai, Jamuna Maya Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Srimati Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Samaveda Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Guranga. All glories to Sri Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we're reading from the beautiful Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 7, Chapter 9, text number 43. Shamarasika?
Oh, yes, Mataji. I need to open the page. It's in the WhatsApp. Just a minute. Hare Krishna. Naivo dvije para duratya yavaitara diryagayana mahamruta magni chittaha शोचेततो विमुखचेतस इंद्रियार्थ माया सुखाय भरम उद्वहतो विमूढ़ान. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Na, not, eva, certainly. Udvij, I am disturbed or afraid. Para, O supreme. Duratraya, insurmountable or difficult, very difficult to cross. Vitrayana, of the Vitranis, the river of the material world. Tvatviya, of your lordship's glories and activities. Gayana, from chanting or distributing Mahamrita in the great ocean of nectarine spiritual bliss. Magna Chitta, whose consciousness is absorbed. So I am simply lamenting tataha, from what? Vimukha Chetsaha, the fools and rascals who are bereft of Krishna consciousness. Indriya Ataha, in sense gratification. Maya Sukhaya, for temporary illusory happiness. Baram, the false burden or responsibility of maintaining one's family, society, and nation, and elaborate arrangements for that purpose. Udvayaha Ayata, who are lifting by making grand plans for these arrangements. Vimudhan, although all of them are nothing but fools and rascals, I am thinking of them also. Translation. This is actually kind of a famous part of his prayer that I've heard many times, but oh, best of the great personalities, I am not at all afraid of material existence, for wherever I stay, I am fully absorbed in thoughts of your glories and activities. My concern is only for the fools and rascals who are making elaborate plans for material happiness and maintaining their families, societies, and countries. I am simply concerned with love for them. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Throughout the entire world, everyone is making big plans to adjust the miseries of the material world. And this is true at present, in the past, and in the future. Nonetheless, although they make elaborate political, social, and cultural plans, they have all been described herein as vimudha, fools. The material world has been described in Bhagavad Gita as dukhalayam asasritam, temporary and miserable. But these fools are trying to turn the material world into sukhalayam, a place of happiness, not knowing, however, everything acts by the arrangement of the material nature, which works in her own way. The bewildered spirit soul, under the influence of the three modes of material nature, thinking himself to be the doer of activities that are in actuality carried out by nature. There is a plan for the material nature, personally known as Durga, to punish the demons. Although the Asuras, the godless demons, struggle for existence, they are directly attacked by the goddess Durga, who is well equipped with 10 hands with different types of weapons to punish them. She is carried by her lion carrier, or the mode of passion and ignorance. Everyone struggles very hard to fight through the modes of passion and ignorance and conquer material nature, but at the end, everyone is vanquished by nature's laws. There is a river known as Vitarani, between the material and spiritual worlds, and one must cross this river to reach the other side of the spiritual world. This is an extremely difficult task. As the Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita 7:14, Daivesya Gunamayi Mama Maya Dharatraya. This divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. The same word Dharatraya means very difficult, is used here. Therefore, one cannot surpass the stringent laws of material nature except by the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Nonetheless, although all materialists are baffled in their plans, they try again and again to become happy in this material world. Therefore, they have been described as vimuta, first-class fools. As for Prahlad Maharaj, he was not at all unhappy, for although he was in the material world, he was full of Krishna consciousness. Those who are Krishna conscious, trying to serve the Lord, are not unhappy, whereas one who has no assets in Krishna consciousness and is struggling for existence is not only foolish, but extremely unhappy also. Prahlad Maharaj was happy and unhappy simultaneously. He felt happiness and transcendental bliss because of his being Krishna conscious. Yet he felt great unhappiness for the fools and rascals who make elaborate plans to be happy in this material world. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistyam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Karanmayam Dadati Swaparantikam. When will Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, who has established within the material world the mission to fulfill the desire of Lord Chaitanya, give me shelter under his lotus feet? Vandeham Sri Guru, Sri Jita Padakamalam, Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha, Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Tam Sajivam, Sadvaitam Sabadutam Parijana Saitam, Krishna Chaitanya Devam, Sri Radha Krishna Padan, Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishaka Nitamscha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master and of all the other preceptors on the path of devotional service. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnavas and unto the 6 Goswamis, including Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Jiva Goswami, and their associates. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Advaita Acharya Prabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, unto Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all his devotees headed by Srivas Acharya. I then offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani and all the gopis headed by Lalita and Vishaka. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharane Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pashtacha Desha Tarane. We're born in the darkness of ignorance, but our spiritual master is so kindly trying to open our eyes with his torchlight of knowledge. So we offer our most humble and respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of such a spiritual master. So the verse is perfect for one who's trying to make spiritual advancement. The spiritual master is like the surgeon. He's trying to cut out the sources of suffering for the living entities with his knife of knowledge. He cuts out the false ideas that we have and implants perfect knowledge and understanding. He does it through his own realizations. He does it through the realizations and association of all the previous saints and sages through their prayers, through their teachings, through their examples, through the stories about them, because they're all focused on one thing. They're focused on their devotion to the Lord, devotional service. Without the devotion, the service we perform can be very superficial. We're cultivating the seed of devotion. And we see by the prayers of Prahlad Maharaj, they're so extensive. And over and over again, he's addressing the Lord in such great respect, with so much love and knowledge. It's, I don't want to say uncanny, it's just something that you do not find in this world. You don't find it. People are not aware of the greatness of the Lord. They just don't know anything about him. They're just, if they have much religion, they're just in the very beginning stage generally. So Prahlad Maharaj has this whole slew of prayers. And he's saying all these different, he's talking about all these different, my dear Lord Nrsimhadev, please cease your anger. He knows who he is. He obviously knows that the Lord himself has come. O most powerful, insurmountable Lord, who are kind to the fallen souls, I've been put into the association of demons as a result of my activities. Who but a great, pure devotee who's seen the Lord directly knows how to pray to him. In the story of Dhruva Maharaj, I believe the Lord touched him, and then Dhruva was able to say all these beautiful prayers, just one after another. Oh, my Lord, O Supreme, because of my bodily conception of life. Oh, my dear Lord, everyone in the material. Oh, Lord, O Supreme Eternal, by expanding your plenary portion, you have created the subtle bodies. What unusual knowledge these great souls are bringing our way. So we see in the histories, there's so many great teachers, and they've lived generally a renounced life, knowing that they are not going to find what they're looking for in matter. I was on a class last night, a Zoom, we're reading Hridayananda Maharaj's commentaries on Bhagavad Gita. And it's quite amazing how he's taken it and put it in his own words, along with referencing, of course, Srila Prabhupada's words and Krishna's words. But it comes up over and over and over again. It's like Krishna's on a loudspeaker. Okay, let's try and be renounced. Let's try and be renounced. Give up your attachment for the material things. You know, we hear it all the time, and we're trying. We're definitely trying. Otherwise, we wouldn't be on the call today. It's not easy. These personalities that are taking us by the hand and leading us on the path of devotion towards our goal of developing our own personal relationship with the Lord and learning how to pray and how to acknowledge his presence and how to be devoted to him in everything we do. And I know in so many circumstances, these devotees have been extremely renounced. I mean, it is our example, and it is there for a reason. Lord Chaitanya, his followers, Lord Chaitanya was a complete renunciate. Who could be more of an example for us than the Supreme Personality of Godhead? If he had come in all opulence, with all the fanfare when he came as Krishna in that incarnate or that appearance, we might have thought, oh, well, yeah, let's get as much as we can. Let's become really opulent. But no, he came as the most extreme renunciate with absolutely nothing. I mean, he left his mother. He left his beautiful young wife. That's extreme renunciation. Jesus did the same thing. He gathered people that were in householder life and said, give it up and follow me. And they did. I mean, there's a reason for those examples. Not that we're able to do that, although some have done it successfully. But still, the message is clear that it's not material commodities and happiness that we're to try and hold on to, but we're not at the point. We are not seeing Krishna face to face like that. We are not every day praying from our heart with the words of these great souls. Oh, great infallible Supreme Personality of Godhead, I offer my obeisances unto you. I mean, that's definitely far beyond my abilities. We still have the tendency to be asking for something. Oh, please help me with my service. Please take this health problem away so I can do my service. We're still kind of in the neophyte stage, you might say. So I was reading some of the prayers of Prahlad Maharaj. Of course, he was a king's son, so he had all opulence. And when we hear about his history, from what I remember, Prahlad Maharaj, he would use the treasury when he was in power. And please forgive me if I've got my personalities mixed up. I know there's Dhruva Maharaj, who also became the king. But from what I remember, my reading, Prahlad Maharaj would totally exhaust his treasury for the people to help them in their day-to-day life and in their spiritual emancipation. When I met Srila Prabhupada, that was one of the stories he told me. He told me about Ramachandra, King Ramachandra. He was a great king, and he was very opulent, and he was very responsible for the citizens. Unfortunately, what we deal with in this day and age, most of the leaders are almost wholly and solely dedicated to their own wealth, prosperity, longevity, without really doing much for the citizens. Really, in reality, they could, if they had the intelligence and the heart, change a lot of things. They could change the economy so that there were not thousands of people on the streets. With all the money they spend on useless, self-indulgent things, they could house and feed thousands of people, millions of people in this world. It just takes the knowledge, the heart, the devotion, the love, which they don't have. Unfortunately, they fall in this category. The fools and rascals, they're mudhas, they're lowest of mankind. They're just unfortunate. But here, the mentality that we're learning from Prahlad Maharaj is that he's feeling great unhappiness for the fools and rascals who make elaborate plans. Can you imagine being in the position of running a country and having millions of dollars of your own and millions of dollars on hand, and having the mentality of a mudha, a fool and a rascal. And I'm not just pointing at one particular person, I'm just saying in general. You know, what are they doing for the people? They don't have the ability. They don't have the ability. I find within myself, I hardly have the ability, and I've been practicing for a number of years, making some endeavor. But, you know, but I see where I've come from. So it's such an important part of our life. Yesterday, we had so much fun. We went to St. Clairsville, Ohio, which is like 45 minutes away, and they had a small little funky Christmas parade. And we joined in with a small Ratha Yatra cart, the one that we were using here for our Ratha Yatra in Wheeling. We had not our deities off the altar, but we had some Jagannath deities. It was decorated, not as well as I would have liked because I'm a decorator. But there was about 45 of us, and we had 5,000 homemade oatmeal cookies wrapped in a kind of a waxy parchment paper type of bag that had a free half price to the palace coupon on it. And we didn't pass them all out, but we passed out just thousands of them. And we had a wonderful kirtan, and the girls all dressed up, mostly in red, and they danced. They would look beautiful. And we have one wonderful Nepali congregational development person, and Keshavacharya. And he was the singer, and he's so lively. But he had learned the Hare Krishna mantra to the Jingle Bell tune. And that was the main song that they sang. And it was very cool. So we just danced and chanted and passed out cookies for, you know, like 2 hours. And then it was arranged that there was a little bit of prasadam. And anyway, it was a lovely day. And we did the same thing in Moundsville. And they do the same thing in Alachua. Almost every small town has some kind of Christmas parade. You know, you organize some people, and you don't have to make cookies. In Alachua, they pass out the hard candy, the colored candies that's offered to the deities, which Prabhupada told us many years ago we could do. Not all the candy bar type of candies, but just the sugar candies. And you pass them out to the crowd, and little pamphlets or invitations to the temple, or, you know, a small book. They were trying to pass out books too, but I don't think that that's too successful in a big parade. But in Alachua, they pass out little pamphlets like on chanting Hare Krishna type of thing. And they pass out thousands of them. So there's always something that we can participate in. So I was thinking about Srila Prabhupada. Now, we see by Lord Chaitanya's example, he was completely renounced. Someone like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was a magistrate. We can see by the fact that his son, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, drove a car for his preaching when nobody else had cars in that time. And here he was, a complete renunciate. His father was a obviously well-to-do magistrate. So we have the example of, and Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj was so renounced. I mean, look at what he did, sitting in a thatched hut for years, eating nothing but khichdi and only what he could eat as he bent over once, and with no salt and spices. And when it rained, using an umbrella because the thatched hut leaked a little. I mean, that is extreme. So we know he wasn't after name and fame. He had the opulence at his father's house. He could have easily, with the ability that he had, easily become a wealthy businessman type of person. But he wanted to serve Krishna. He wanted to, according to Srila Prabhupada, he was a ray of Vishnu. He was prayed for by his father to help in the mission. And that's what he did. So Prabhupada, following in those footsteps of renunciation, I mean, I always focus on it because to me, it's quite amazing. He renounced everything. Prabhupada left everything. Children, grandchildren, home. And he lived in a little room in Vrindavan at the Radha Damodar temple. Somehow or other, Krishna arranged that he had a room just overlooking the samadhi of Rupa Goswami. He slept on a rope bed. I mean, I remember for years and years and years, we always slept on the floor. Always, with nothing. A sleeping bag. We had a sleeping bag. And I remember really when I got really into sense gratification, we got a foam, like a 4-inch foam mattress, or just a piece of foam. That was real opulence. But now, of course, I'm totally submerged in sense gratification. I actually have a bed. But anyway, but Prabhupada, he was, coming to America. Who knows what he slept on when he was in New York the first year? His desk was his trunk. Here he's writing deep, pure devotional literature. And his desk is an old trunk. And that was his desk for years. Even once he started, and the young people at the 2nd Avenue, they got in the apartment, his desk was still the trunk. I mean, it's really, to think of those days was so amazing, because the empowerment, the Krishna consciousness and the empowerment was so strong that we were able to just give up everything and just run after Prabhupada's mission, sleeping on the floor, having no shoes, eating off of wax paper, whatever was provided. Amazing. Just amazing, because most of us were from good old American families with the 2 cars and the house and the vacation every year and I mean, that's really Krishna's doing. I guess he wanted to help us, but he wanted to help Prabhupada. Prabhupada said he planted the devotees in different places. And when Prabhupada called, everyone just came running. What great mercy that is for Krishna to move you around. I just hope that when it's time for me to leave this particular body, that I have the consciousness that Krishna is going to plant me somewhere else where I can take up again his service. Because we see, like Prahlad Maharaj is saying here, you can't help but feel unhappy for the world at large. Here is the biggest, we're in the Christian country, right? We're in a Christian country. Christ, there's churches everywhere. And where do we see Christ at Christmas? In the masses of people. They are not thinking at all maybe a shallow thought in the back of their mind. Maybe, hopefully, they'll go to church. But the whole society is just running towards sense gratification, and many of it in a very low, eating the most low food, pig's ears and pig's cheeks and livers of animals and brains of animals, and just like, oh my God, it's horrible. And then running after the next drink alcohol. We're going to have Mai Tais, or we're going to have martinis, or we're going to, at our party, we're going to have beer. It's like, this is a celebration of Christ's birthday? I don't think so. It's like the people have forgotten. So here we are trying to find a way. That's why the book distribution is so important. It actually helps wake people up. And then Krishna gives them a chance. It was funny, yesterday on the parade, I was doing cookies, passing out cookies. And I went, you never know. I mean, fortunately, there are not too many of them, but there are people that are kind of against us, that think we're a cult, that think only their Christian religion is right. And, they don't want to take a cookie even, but most of them are very friendly and pious. But in the crowds, there was like one instant I went over to a group, there's all these little children, they're getting on a float, and I had cookies. Okay, can I give the children cookies? And one woman said, yes, please. I've been meaning to come up to the palace. I just, I want to bring my kids up there, and, just going on and on, because they've had some contact somewhere along the line. And then in the crowd, I was passing out cookies as the parade was going, and there's like thousands of people lining the street, and someone going, oh, Hare Krishna, someone who'd been to the palace, or it's so wonderful. And then in the crowd, there was this one young man who used to come to the temple all the time, who bought the primal strip business that I worked for 10 years, Danny Swan. He was in the crowd with his new baby, and he runs out onto the street and gives me a big hug. Hare Krishna, Jai Shri, how are you? It's like there are so many pious people, but all in all, their direction is misled. And then you have these people that are leaders of countries with ability, facility, money, everything is there. And they're just helping to lead the people more and more into ignorance, because it's going to benefit them, because they own part of businesses, or, not to say that they're all demons, but definitely fools and rascals. A harsh thing to say, but it's not a harsh thing to say, because unfortunately, that's the reality. Fools and rascals. And I'm one of them, unfortunately, but I'm trying not to be. So the thing about Srila Prabhupada was his faith. He had so much faith in the order of his spiritual master, and in the chanting of Hare Krishna, and in his mission, that he just did not give up. He continued on pushing the boundaries of anyone in his age group, 70 years old. Wait till you get to 70 and see if you would be willing and able to cross the ocean on a cargo ship with no money, going to New York, of all places, to try and preach to a Christian country where they had no idea anything about Krishna. How much faith he must have had in the order, in his spiritual master, in the order of the spiritual master, and in Krishna. Okay, my Lord, you brought me here. Now, you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to empower me. You're going to have to empower my words, because how are they going to understand? I'm your puppet. Prabhupada said at one point he was living just like a vagabond with nothing, nowhere to go, didn't know what to do. Trying. Such faith. He just continued pushing and pushing on. But even when ISKCON was starting to gain ground, and there was so much money coming into the society, Prabhupada didn't use it for himself. How many people in this world, when they've been so poor for so long and they get money like that, wouldn't be out shopping for themselves? Oh, I need new shoes. I need this. How about a car? Why don't start, build me a house, a mansion, and I'll live there. And he wasn't a cheater. Prabhupada was the real deal, as they say. He was talking about renunciation. He was talking about using everything for Krishna. And that's exactly what he did up until the last point. Amazing. I mean, it was done for him because his disciples loved and respected him. They took care of him. But when they didn't do such a good job, he didn't say, okay, well, I'm going to go shopping and buy all the things that I want to eat, and I'm going to go cook, and I'm going to buy a new coat. No, the black coat that he had was probably used. I'm not sure. I could ask Govinda Dasi. And the one that he made, that he wore, the saffron one, was made for him. And, the person sewing it was an okay seamstress, but certainly not professional. And I know that because I was the one sewing it. But that's the coat he wore. He was trying to engage us in Krishna's service, or he was engaging us. So I was thinking about the prayers of Prahlad Maharaj. Okay, he's praying with great earnesty to learn Nrsimhadev. And he's not asking for anything for himself. A lot of his prayer is glorifying the Lord, right? That's what his prayers are. And then I was looking in the songbook. The songbook is just the most beautiful prayers put to music. And now I started reading the Gopinath prayer by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And he is like Prahlad Maharaj. He's standing very close to Krishna. He's able to see Krishna. He's praying directly to him. O Gopinath, Lord of the cowherd girls, please hear my prayer. I am a wicked materialist, always addicted to worldly desires, and no good qualities do I possess. O Gopinath, you are my only hope, and so I have taken shelter of your lotus feet. I am your eternal servant. O Gopinath, how will you purify me? I do not know what devotion is, and my materialistic mind is absorbed in fruitive work. I have fallen into this dark and perilous worldly existence. Sounds like me. But I don't know how to pray like this. Oh, Gopinath, everything here is your illusory energy. I have no strength or transcendental knowledge. And this body of mine is not independent, being controlled by material nature. Oh, Gopinath, weeping and weeping, this sinner begs for an eternal place at your divine feet. Please give me your mercy. O Gopinath, since you can do anything, you have the power to deliver all sinners. Who is a greater sinner than I? O Gopinath, you are the ocean of mercy. After entering this phenomenal world, you expand your divine pastimes for the sake of the fallen souls. And this is our Srimad Bhagvatam and our Bhagavad Gita. How many literatures there are. O Gopinath, although all the demons you killed attain your lotus feet, this Bhaktivinoda is so sinful that he has remained in worldly existence. O Gopinath, please remove the torment of worldly existence. I can no longer tolerate the pain of ignorance and the cycle of repeated births and deaths. O Gopinath, I am a confirmed servant of lust. Worldly desires are awakening in my heart, and thus the noose of fruit of work is beginning to tighten. O Gopinath, when will I wake up and cast this enemy of lust far away? And when will you manifest yourself in my heart? Only a pure devotee would know how to pray like that. And it goes on. There's like 2 parts, part 3. Just amazing, the consciousness, the value of these prayers. That's one of the processes of devotional service: hearing, chanting, remembering, worshiping, praying. That's for us, a life of prayer. Manasadeho Geho, mind, body, home. This is from Saranagati. Mind, body, and family, whatever may be mine, I have surrendered at your lotus feet, O youthful son of Nanda. In good fortune or bad, life or death, all of my difficulties have disappeared because I have chosen those lotus feet of yours as my only shelter. Slay me or protect me as you wish, for you are the master of your eternal servant. I mean, just that itself. And that's what Prabhupada said: make me a success or failure. Slay me or protect me. Whoever prays like that? We're always, sorry, I've got something on the stove that's burning. We're always just looking for protection because we're so far away. And this is one of the things I've been thinking about recently. If someone is a pure devotee, and that's what Prahlad is saying, O best of great personalities, I'm not at all afraid of material existence, for wherever I stay, I'm fully absorbed in thoughts of your glories and activities. Right? And then we just went through a month of the Damodar prayers. What did he ask for? That the Lord's pastimes always appear in his heart. None of these, I mean, sometimes we see it, but generally they're not praying to please give me a spiritual body and let me go back to Godhead where I'm peaceful. It's really not devotion. Devotion is this. What Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying: slay me or protect me as you wish, for you are the master of your eternal servant. Wow, I'm so far away from devotion, but I have such an opportunity. We have to become focused. We really have to become focused. Okay, we're here, we're hearing, we're chanting, we're around devotees, we're in a parade passing out cookies. What's our focus though? Where's our devotion? We need to be fixed. We need to hear our chanting. We need to focus on our praying. We need to focus on our deity worship and our cooking. Okay, yes, I'm going to make pizza. Yeah, it's so much fun. I thought I'm going to have pineapple on it. We're going to do this. Okay, well, where are we thinking about Krishna? I'm going to offer it to Krishna. Okay, that's wonderful, but that's kind of shallow. So what are we doing? We're trying to increase our focus on our devotion. And one way to do that, and we're dealing with devotees. In New Vrindavan, you're really in the pressure cooker of devotees. You have devotees above you, beside you. If you're on the top floor of the apartments, under you, they're all around. Everything you do, everywhere you go. If you don't get along with devotees, if your mind is concentrated on their faults, of course they have faults. You have faults too. But if your mind is concentrated on anything but honoring those devotees, respecting those devotees, sometimes you have to tolerate some of the things that people do. But when you see they're doing devotional service, and they may not be fixed up enough to be deeply concentrating on Krishna, they may be thinking about how they're going to lord it over this person or that, or how they're going to eat the offering that they're making for the deity. That's unfortunately their own personal devotional service. But association of devotees and being in the right consciousness and learning the tolerance and respect and appreciation. Appreciation goes so far. It's such a wonderful door to open to the heart of another devotee. If we want to get along with devotees, to be able to be in their association, and like Prabhupada asked, you'll show how you love me by how you work together with love and trust. That was one of the last direct instructions or desires. And it makes so much sense. How do you have a movement, a temple, a home, unless you learn to get along and respect and appreciate? One of the qualities of a pure devotee is he doesn't find fault with others. It is the easiest thing in the world to find faults. I am an expert. My heart is an expert. Why did they do it like this? Why is the garland so long? Why? And then I'm thinking, wait a minute. Look at what they did. Look at how beautiful, how devoted. They do this all the time. It's like you almost have to, like Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj said, you have to beat your mind with a broom. You have to pull your mind back. We're not just on that platform yet. We have to really take control of our thoughts and realize this is not the right direction. No, we have to appreciate what they're doing, not find fault. I went to the parade with some particular one person, and they drive, and just some things were just so irritating to me. And that person is a very good friend of mine. And it was like, what am I thinking? Why am I thinking like this? It's just, we have to learn how to appreciate the servants of the Lord. Otherwise, we may find ourselves someday not around the servants of the Lord until we learn how to appreciate them. Prabhupada was so appreciative, and he glorified the devotees. He made the devotees feel like they were already pure devotees. And he said it, my disciples are all pure devotees. It's like, yeah, really? But he was right. but he was also very encouraging. That's an art. That is a great soul who can inspire you. You're not a great pure devotee, but they are. And they're inspiring you to do anything for Krishna. Go to London, open a temple. Go to Japan with nothing. Go to Denver with nothing and figure it out. Not so easy. But because of that empowerment and that enthusiasm that you gained from Prabhupada, you knew that Krishna was in the mix and he was going to help you. You read the book by Mukunda Maharaj, Miracle on 26 Second Avenue, I think it is called, and the books by Shama Sundar, and you see what they did and how they did it. Just amazing things that you wouldn't think were possible. But because of that faith in Prabhupada and because of Prabhupada's faith in Krishna, they had that faith in Krishna and they did it. And now we have ISKCON, but we want to keep it going. We want to keep that inspiration and that enthusiasm. And we help others stay or want to become Krishna conscious by inspiring them, appreciating them, praising them, helping them, serving them, giving them our association. Wow, it's just a wonderful tree of Lord Chaitanya's mission. So happy he's tolerated me here. All right, 8:20, time for me to stop. Hope I was a little help in your day remembering Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much, Mataji, for this wonderful, wonderful class. And he was explaining about how Prabhupada disciples are really dedicated and how Prabhupada was just giving them instructions, go here, go there and start temple. Like that, me and my daughter yesterday, while coming back from the temple, we were discussing about this topic only. Since we have so many comfort zone, but still we are not able to dedicate so much, Mataji. And that time, you all Prabhupada disciples were so no like comfort zone. So many difficulties were there, but still now you are so like at the age of this age, old age also, you are so much dedicated. Like you was in Hawaii, the weather was very different, like warm weather there. But in New Vrindavan, you are serving so long with so much severe weather, and for the Christmas party also, it's very cold here, Mataji. But you all are so much dedicated. Like Palaka Prabhu, he's Prabhupada disciple from DC temple, and every weekend, every Saturday, he goes to Silver Spring. If anybody comes with him or not, that he goes and do Harinam Kirtan there. So that much conviction we are not getting, Mataji.
That's the kind of person you want to go on Harinam with. Because if someone has that dedication, then they've attached deeply to the mission. That's the person you want to go help. You want to serve. You want to go on Harinam with him. You want to make cookies to pass out for him, or whatever he needs. I would join that kind of person if I could. It's rare when you find people like that. And there's so many people in our movement, old Prabhupada disciples too, that are still, they're set in their 70s, late 70s, still going on book distribution. Some every day. They're posting. There's several in Alachua. A friend of mine, she's had blood cancer for probably 10 years. Big welts all over her body and not much strength. And last year, her husband unfortunately died unexpectedly, and her youngest son, the month before, died. She's still going out and doing books because it's her shelter. It's her connection. I've heard it. I have never been a book distributor, except like at a table or up at the palace. But to go out on the street just with books and be able to preach on that level and distribute books through preaching it's an amazing gift. And I've heard from so many of them that Krishna and Prabhupada are so present there in those exchanges. You know, it's very empowering because it's what they want. It's what Krishna wants. It's what Prabhupada wants. It's what Lord Chaitanya wants. They're trying to save the fallen souls, these fools and rascals that Prahlad Maharaj is talking about. And it's not that it's not happening now. There's lots of people doing lots of things all over the world. Not just, Indradumna Swami, look at what he does. Is it Indradumna Swami doing it? No. His inspiration is definitely the driving force. But it's all these other devotees. You read his diaries, and these two girls, I can't remember their names right now. They are his, especially one, they're his people. They're the ones that set up the whole festival. And then this one girl, I wish I could remember her name, that, it's like against all odds, they were being, now it's a little different than it was 20 years ago or 15 years ago when they first started. They were rejected because the Catholic Church was sending all kinds of horrible things, people and rules and laws to stop them. They were afraid of them. They didn't want people not to become Catholic. So there was all kinds of impediments. And this girl, she was just so determined. She would just, I remember one story, she was trying to get the okay. They were supposed to have the festival, and then the committee last moment canceled the festival, and they were supposed to have it the next day or something. And then she would drive 5 hours to go talk to one particular person. And, it's just like the Krishna magic is still working. It's not just that Prabhupada was present. It's just the way it is. There's all kinds of people doing miraculous things still. We just have to tune into it. And I'm preaching to myself here because it's easy to forget.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, for a very inspiring class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for listening to me and tolerating me.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dana Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Krishna.
Nice class about reflecting upon Prahlad Maharaj's mood while praying to Lord Narasimhadev, that let him be in the service of serving so that these fools and rascals, they get delivered. And you nicely related it to Prabhupada's mission, Prabhupada's driving force, and also Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Saranagati, surrender songs, and how elevated the consciousness of these your devotees are. So they offer everything they possess to to serve Krishna, the Guru, and Sadguru, and
Today I'm not going. I'm working from home. I'm going 3 days: Tuesday, Thursday, and Thursday.
and
But
also,
normally I'm off these days. I have to burn my vacation. I'm not having a privilege of going to New Jersey. Okay, enjoy that day.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, and then also help souls. You are correctly saying that. You can correctly say that even now also there's a very such people are there who serve Krishna in that mood of complete surrender, doing everything for Krishna. Wonderful, Mataji. Your association is so valued. And yes, Ramanasika Mataji is right in pointing out that how much of surrender it needs to your Guru, that you forsake everything to please the Guru, and took such arduous missions in different ways and different times all through your life. So it gives us a lot of inspiration when you speak, when you are in the midst of us. Please continue to grace us with your presence and your association and your nectarian word more and more. Hare Krishna.
All right, thank you. Yeah, no need to praise me. I'm really not worthy of praise. I'm just fortunate when, I've been able to somehow or other by Krishna's grace stay in the association of devotees and try and make some endeavor. But thank you. And I am leaving for California on the 17th. So that means I probably will not be on any calls until I come back in the spring, because in California, I would have to get up, like at 3 a.m, and it's just not possible in my health condition. So this is probably the last talk we'll have for a while. So I thank you so much for your association and that you do this every day. It's very commendable.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. When are you coming back?
I'm not sure right now. My ticket is for, I didn't make a ticket to come back. I'm going to try and come March or April. And then I go up to Canada to Saranagati, where I haven't been for probably 7 or 8 years, to see my son and my other son and his family. And then I go with Malati to Sadhu Sangha.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'll be around in May.
Okay. It's a long absence.
Well, yeah. I mean, I may be back available in March.
I see.
For a couple of sometime. We'll see. I'll let you know. But thank you, because I like to give class, although I don't really do it properly, but I like to do it because it helps me.
Another thing, Mataji, what I would like to say is that we are not praising you. It is just coming from our heart. It is given by the Lord Krishna. We have to say something. So it is just like Lord Krishna is doing your duty, and Lord Krishna is praising you. This is mine. Hare Krishna.
All right, thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mother Jayashree. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances.
Oh, I didn't know you were on the call.
Hare Krishna.
Was that you that we heard talking to someone on the phone?
No, that was somebody else.
Can I see you? Hi, Hare Krishna.
Nice seeing you. Hope you are doing good.
Yes, we miss you coming here.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, I'm in Memphis now, Tennessee.
Okay. How's your family?
Family is good, Mother. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we miss you coming.
Yes. Mother, my wife is pregnant, so.
Okay, very good.
She's in India right now.
Okay.
She's due in 3 months. So just want to let you know.
All right. Well, congratulations. I hope everything goes well. Yeah,
Thank
now's
you.
the time to build a family if you're going to do it. You guys are young still.
So grateful for all your services and all your efforts at New Vrindavan. It gives a lot of inspiration to come there on the weekends and then serving there. Really appreciate.
I'm sure the cows miss you.
Hare Krishna.
All right.
Thank you, Mother. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. We are going to miss you until March, and whenever Rupini Parma Mataji share the dates, please choose some dates, Mataji. And it's good to see you. Nice to see you after a long time with your camera. Thank you. Thank for the video camera and Nilagovinda Prabhu. You also joining. So thank you so much, all devotees joining. So if anybody has any question or comment. Okay. So let's
Thank you, Jayashree, Mother Jayashree.
Hare
It
Krishna.
was very nice always to hear you, and we'll be missing definitely, but we'll definitely, that time will come again, you will be on the call. Thank you, Mata. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, sure.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Pansha, Kalpatar. Anybody want to speak? Okay. Pansha, Kalpatar, Vaishya, Kripa, Sindhu, Evacha, Patitanam, Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha. Anant Koti Vaishnava ki jai,
Jai.
Namaskar Shri Das Thakur ki jai,
Yeah.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai,
Jai.
Grandhara Srimad Bhagvatam ki jai,
Yeah.
Jai Sri Mataji ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hari Bol.
Krishna, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Krishna.
Have a safe travel.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Thank
Welcome.
you.
Hare Krishna.